The last time we met together, we talked about doing fractions a different way. We talked about the crossover method for addition and subtraction. And remember, I said to actually use your hands, cross over to remember. Now, the last time we talked about over on multiplication, but I had a student make a very interesting observation. He said, Mrs. Roush, if you look, we go over on the numerator and we go over on the denominator. And so he wanted to call it the over-over rule. And I think that's a good idea. So it's over numerators, over denominators. And then we did the cross rule for division. And so this would be the numerator and this would be the denominator. And then we also mentioned Kentucky Fried Chicken. Keep, flip, and change. Now today we're going to look at algebra. How do we use these in expressions and equations when we get to algebra? All right, so here we see an equation that has x's. We have 3x over x plus 4 and 12 over x plus 4. And the same rules apply when we have variables as when we have just numbers. So if you look, both of the denominators are the same. That's called the common denominator. So in this case, all I have to do is add the numerators and put it over the denominator. Now don't forget, you may have to simplify. Does anybody see a way we could simplify this? Very good, Caleb. We can take a 3 out of the top. Why does that make it so convenient? Yes, we can cancel that, so my answer is just 3. Good job. All right, now here is another problem. This is our second problem, and let's look. The denominators are different, and I have to find a common denominator. Now, instead of doing that, I'm going to go over and use the crossover rule. Remember, cross over. So I'm going to do this, and that's going to become my numerator because I'm starting with the numerator. So I have x squared plus 5x. I'm going to do this, plus 3x plus 12. And then this is my denominator. This is my over. X plus 4 times x plus 5. All right, so to get my denominator, I go over. To get my numerator, I do this times x plus 5, and I do 3 times x plus 4. So far, so good, right? Now what do I have to do? Good job, Sarah. I have to combine my like terms. So I end up with x squared plus 8x plus 12, right? Over x plus 4 times x plus 5. All right, can this be simplified? Well, we know the factors of 12 are 6 and 2, 4 and 3, and 12 and 1. Are there any of these factors that would give me 8? That would give me 7 if I added them. That would give me 13. Oh, look, right here. So I end up with x plus 6 times x plus 2 over x plus 4 times x plus 5. Can anything be canceled? Nope, there are no x plus 6's down here. No x plus 2's down here. So that would be my final answer. Now, sometimes your book will want this answer with this multiplied out, which would be x squared plus 9x plus 20. And what you'll have to do is you'll have to check with your teacher or your textbook to see, do they want this answer or do they want this answer? All right, let's try one more example. You'll see we have x plus 2 over 5x and x minus 6 over 3x, and we're adding. So the first thing we want to do is using the crossover method. Let's figure out the denominator. And we know it's going to be 15x squared because 5 times 3 is 15 and x times x gives me x squared. Now I'm going to do my cross method. I'm going to do this times this. If you can't see that in your head, then go over here and write it like this. I'm able to see it. Not everybody can. You want to be able to distribute, then go over and rewrite it. So we end up with 3x squared plus 6x. Now I'm going to go the other way. And I'm going to end up, because I have a plus, 5x squared minus 30x. Okay, what should we do next? That's correct. We want to group like things. Now we have 3x squared plus 16x plus 5x squared minus 30x, and we want to group our like terms. So we end up with 8x squared, and we have 6 minus 30, which is going to give us minus 24x over 15x squared. Now, does anybody see a way we could simplify the numerator? Good. We could take out an 8x, which would give me x minus 3 on the bottom. And 15x squared really means 15 times x times x, so I can cancel an x, which is going to give me 8 times x minus 3 over 15x. And that's as far as I can go because 8, the factors are 8 and 1, 4 and 2, 15 and 1, 5 and 3. So these have nothing in common. So that is our final answer. All right, this time let's use crossover, but let's involve one that has a subtraction. So we have to remember this is minus 3. So when we multiply, we're really multiplying by minus 3. So first of all, let's do our over. So we have 2x times 4x. And then we're going to do our crossover. So we're going to do this times this. So x times 4x gives me 4x squared. And minus 1 times 4x gives me minus 4x. And then our numerator, remember this is minus. Minus times this gives me minus 6x. Now remember, if you have trouble, go over here and rewrite the problem and use the distributive property. You're going to end up with the same thing, but if you can't see it, visually put it on paper. All right, next step. Somebody tell me. Very good. I need to put together my x's, don't I? So I have 4x squared minus 10x. And I'm going to keep this, or I can work it out, but I think I'll keep it just to see what happens to make it a little easier, because I can always multiply this at the very end. All right, anybody see a way to simplify the numerator? We have an even number and an even number, and all even numbers are divided by 2. Very good. So now I have 2, but I also have an x in common, which I want to take out. So inside, I have left 2x, because 2x times 2x gives me 4x squared, minus 5 over 2x times 4x. Now, do you see why I left that? Because now I can do this. Whereas if I had multiplied it out, I would have to break it back down and do that. So now I end up with 2x minus 5 over 4x. And I'm done. All right, the next time we see you, we're going to again work with fractions, and we're going to learn how to multiply across the equal sign. See you then.